What is up, everybody? Reverse here today. Apparently, Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard. The updates just get crazier and crazier. Now the FTC is jumping in and wants to sue Microsoft. It's like, it just makes zero sense. Because not only did Microsoft offer Sony a 10-year deal, Microsoft offers Steam the same Call of Duty deal, Nintendo the same Call of Duty deal, and only Sony is the one who's like a crybaby in this situation here. Like, you can't call it monopoly if they're offering the game everywhere. You can't say, hey, Microsoft might be making these games be exclusives, but the games, they're offering the same 10-year deal to everybody, which everybody else accepted. Steam accepted it, Nintendo accepted it. Only one that accepted is Sony. So this FTC nonsense, is Sony paying these guys? Like, this is complete, just so ludicrous right here. So it's just like, what is going on? So this is like an official statement about the FTC, the press release they gave out. The Federal Trade Commission is seeking to block technology giant Microsoft, quote, from acquiring leading video game developer Activision Blizzard. And it's like, why are they even doing this? It's like, I think there's way too many people who are, way too many old people in charge that have no ideas about what video games are. And I think they're just listening to Jim Ryan crying about this whole situation because he's the CEO of Sony. They just want to hear, they just listen to this guy whine and complain when it's like literally Sony's been buying exclusives for the longest, but it's no problem with Sony has exclusives. But when Microsoft has exclusives, it's a big deal. Like, this is just so ridiculous at this point. In a complaint issued today, the FTC pointed to Microsoft's record of acquiring and using valuable game content to suppress competition and rival consoles. So the same thing that Sony does as well. Like, once again, Sony is A-okay for Sony to do it, but if Microsoft would acquire Bethesda and their games, make Starfield and Redfall exclusive, it was like, let's sue Microsoft now. Like, this is some clown stuff right here, bro. This is some clown stuff. Microsoft has already shown that it can and withhold content from gaming rivals. Okay, and I can't play Spider-Man on my Xbox. I can't play the mainline Final Fantasy games on my Xbox. Is the FTC gonna sue Sony next, or is just aiming at Microsoft right now? Like, really? I'm not about to read the rest of this. This is dumb crap. And it's like the only game they really care about is Call of Duty. Like, these other games they don't really care about. They just care about Call of Duty. So, and it was like Microsoft said, hey, we can put Call of Duty on other consoles for 10 years. And that's plenty of time. A decade. That's a decade. That's a long time for a game to be a multiplayer before the company decides to make it exclusive. Like, Sony can't do anything about them. They just suck as a company at that point. And like, this is completely ridiculous that this is even a thing. But they're gonna sue Microsoft. So I don't know how that has any weight. I'm not a lawyer or anything, but I'm not sure how that has any weight right there because it seems completely ludicrous. The Sony can have exclusive games where Microsoft can't. It's just like, wow. So let's see what we gotta say about this. I think I need to buy popcorn to watch that battle. It's not even gonna be a battle. It's just gonna be a clown show. Neat use of taxpayer money. Yes, your tax dollars are being funded to fund this nonsense right here. A waste of money. Nice to see the FTC fighting the world's most serious problem with our money. Yes, Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard, and then Sony and Jim Ryan crying in the corner is the most serious problem right now. Huge W by the FTC. As a person with a Last of Us avatar, he's definitely not biased in any way, shape, or form. Good, the monopolization of the game industry is bad. Oh man. Once again, I don't know how it could be monopoly if the main game that they're crying about is going to be on all platforms for at least 10 years. It's like, is it really a monopoly at that point? Like, is it really a monopoly? FTC looking at net neutrality. Yeah, wasn't that a thing? What happened to that? Making sure we weren't being overcharged for using the internet. Wasn't that a thing at one point? I guess I said, hey, the hell with that. Now I just focus on Microsoft buying video games. Folks are way too salty over video games. They really are. That's like, geez. I'm so tired. As they should. A lot of these people in this comment section are just Sony fanboys who just literally just want Microsoft to have zero exclusives because they're so butthurt. They're fine with Sony having exclusives, but Microsoft exclusives is a problem now. It's just ridiculous. Well, that sucks for big multi-billion-dollar businesses. Microsoft seems to clear every hurdle. At this point, it just seems like people are trying to block for a payout. I think Sony is paying these guys. I'm not trying to get those conspiracy theories, but it's like, why is everybody protecting Sony? Like they're like some indie company or something. Like this is just ridiculous. They got studios. They can make a rival game the counter Call of Duty, and they can do that. So the FTC is against this merger, but we're fine with Disney buying Fox. Yeah, Disney almost pretty much own everything in the movie industry, but that's completely fine. But Microsoft buying some video game companies, that's an issue. Uh, this whole story is just so. I'm still kind of trying to grasp this whole story. They being sued because of them wanting to buy Activision Blizzard. Literally going to improve the company all around with Activision Blizzard just to make sure all those scandals, all the ridiculous stuff don't happen anymore. But Microsoft shouldn't be able to do that. But it's just, I'm just infuriated that, like they said before the comments, that taxpayer money is being used for this nonsense. I'm mostly a Nintendo and PlayStation player, and even I think this purchase is good. It gives more companies a chance to develop existing titles. Toys for Bob, yeah, because they made the Crash Bandicoot games, and now they're stuck making Call of Duty games at Activision. So you can't even get a new, I think, Spyro game. I think they made the Spyro and Crash Bandicoot games. They can't work on those games. They just focus on making Call of Duty games now. So, if this is a problem according to the FTC, then why is Embracer Group, another company that's just buying up everything, but there's no problem with that either. Allowed to buy so many damn publishers and devs in quick succession seems kind of hypocritical, doesn't it? I'm on the one hand, I'm for competition, but Blizzard in particular needs to be whipped into shape. I'm sure plenty of people will be upset about this, but honestly, this is the better choice for all gamers. What's the better choice? Them suing Microsoft? What? Then we have one fanboy right here that says, if this hurts your feelings, you have nothing better to do. Go play games and stop worrying about the stress that the trillion-dollar company is going through. None of this will stop you from playing games unless all you do is play fraud and corporate slavery. Well, this is stopping me from getting Call of Duty day and date on Game Pass, which is a big issue, or me getting these other Call of Duty games in Game Pass, which I have a problem with. So people who are Xbox fans do have some invested interest in this because this affects us ultimately if we get these games in Game Pass or not. Like, I can care less if these games, Call of Duty remains a multiplayer exclusive, but the games being in Game Pass is definitely a nice bonus right there, which is kind of annoying because everybody wants to stop this deal from going through. About time the FTC does its job. The downside is now we have to keep hearing about this throughout a legal battle. I hope it goes through. I want to see old Call of Duty restored on new hardware. Instead of letting it die like Sony did for their PS3 games, let PlayStation but not a fan of their PS3 restoration efforts. Weird to see the FTC intervene, and what is maybe one of the only tech acquisitions that isn't terrible. Like, I'm not really sure how this is just ruining the gaming overall. Like this is like this huge monopoly. I'm not seeing that when there's so many studios out there. Like, and the only game people really care about is Call of Duty. They're not talking about any other game but Call of Duty, but it's just a big monopoly now, which is just ridiculous. Microsoft acquiring Activision will absolutely benefit the workers at Activision. Agree. And the quality of games they put out, only debate is over for long-term impact on the industry. Some real brain geniuses in the comments falling for Microsoft throwing out insane promises just before this. Okay. I mean, but this on paper they're from a 10-year deal though, so they can't go against that. Getting sick and tired of this BS deal. Somebody's going to lose here, either developers who are suffering on Activision Blizzard, who are executives, or consumers who like to have PlayStation as their main console. And fans continue to wage war over this BS. Yeah, I'm gonna conclude it right here. This is just so ridiculous at this point. I think it's complete nonsense. Even FTC is jumping in on this. It's like, really? is this the biggest problem concerning the gaming right now, or just this the main concern they do focus on? Is just ridiculous. So I don't know. Definitely see your thoughts down below about this. Leave a like this video, and as always, thanks for watching, and peace.